Okay everyone, I have some news. And this news isn't great news, but it's something that needs to happen in my life right now, and I wanted to share it. So today, currently, is September 26th, 2018. In 2 days, on September 28th, 2018, I'm gonna be getting foot surgery. That's not the easiest thing in the world to deal with being an athlete, but I know that this is what needs to be done. So a little backstory. Back in 2015, I found out that I had a stress fracture in my right navicular bone in my foot. It's not a huge bone, but it's an important one, helps you walk, as I assume all the bones in your foot do. But I was faced with a decision to make. I could either get surgery in 2015 that would take me about 6 to 8 months to recover from because I had pretty weak and brittle bones at that point, and putting screws in my foot would have taken my bones a lot longer to heal just because they were so brittle and frail at that time. Or I could just keep diving on it, put a boot on, put a scooter on, stay off of it as much as I could, but continue to dive. And that's what I did. In 2015, in 2016, and in 2017, I was in a boot, I was on a scooter, I was on crutches, on and off for many, many months at a time. The last time I was on a scooter was back of fall of 2017 when I went to Hawaii. Actually, I was on a scooter for about 12 weeks. And by the power of God, my foot held out. The fracture didn't get any worse, and it actually got better leading up to Rio. There was still a fracture in my foot when I was in Rio, so I was competing on that broken foot, and again in 2017 in Budapest, and even this year in 2018 in, where were we, Wuhan, China. I was still competing on a fractured foot, but it stopped hurting. It wasn't hurting, there was still a fracture, but it wasn't too bad. It was manageable, so I could continue to dive, and I was fine with that. Fast forward to a couple weeks ago, my foot started hurting again for the first time in a while. So we got an x-ray, we got a CT scan, we got an MRI, and the CT scan was ultimately what we used to show what the issue was. It could see it the clearest, and it showed that the original fracture in my foot had completely healed by some miracle, and I totally believe that God completely healed my foot. In that fracture, it was completely healed. There was new bone grown around that area, and that fracture is no longer an issue, but what explained the foot pain I was having was a different issue, and in the same bone, just on a different part of the bone, there's a new stress fracture, but this one is a lot more severe. And so now in 2018, I'm faced with the same options that I was faced with in 2015. But the only difference is that this time I've got about a 7-month head start than I did last time around. That was 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago at this point. And these options again are, I either get surgery, I put 2 screws in, and this one luckily is in a place that the screws going in are gonna be a lot better, and it's gonna heal much faster than the last time. But that still means I'm out of competition until January. So you've got all of October, November, December, and then I'll be in at the end of January. So January 25th is what we're looking at with surgery, being back to full-time diving. But the other option is the same as last time. I throw it in a boot for 6 to 8 weeks on scooter, don't put any pressure on it. But this time's a little different because the last fracture, it didn't hurt to walk on. My foot was just weak and would give out. And I could really manage the pain while diving because it wasn't a whole lot of pain, it was just a lot of weakness. This one is painful. This one hurts a lot. The other option is exactly what it was last time. Throw a boot on it, throw it on a scooter, wait 6 to 8 weeks and hope that it doesn't hurt anymore and wean myself back into diving. But the thing is both those options are so similar. In one of them, we have a much higher chance of success in the long term. In the other one, we have a lot of questions. With surgery, there's going to be screws in my foot holding that bone together. That bone's not going to be a problem. It's going to take time. But once we get past that time gap, it's going to be healthy, and I'm actually going to be stronger than I was in Rio in 2015, in 2017, and in 2018. And that's exciting to me. Since the year 2014, I haven't been able to run, like actually just run, which doesn't make sense because I'm an athlete that's pounding on a platform and jumping on boards. But that pain was manageable for those few seconds I was doing that every day. Running is a long-term thing, and I haven't been able to run because I haven't had a strong enough bone. And with these screws in my foot, I'm going to be able to walk without a limp. I've been limping everywhere for 4 years, and that's been really frustrating. That's been hard. Having everyone come up to you since my freshman year of college and ask why I'm limping, and me just being like, oh, I don't know, my foot's just kind of weak, or I have a stress fracture, but it's fine, I can still walk. Now I'll be able to say nothing, because hopefully if the surgery goes well and the healing process goes well, I won't have that limp anymore, and I'll be able to walk, and I'll be able to run, and in turn I'll be stronger because my bone is going to be stronger, and I'll be able to dive more, and I'll be able to dive better because I won't have to be worrying about the foot. If I take the other option, 6 to 8 weeks in a boot, that's the same amount of time as surgery, and then when I get out of the boot, it could be healed, but with the size of this break, it's gonna probably take a lot longer than 6 to 8 weeks to heal on its own. The last one was pretty small and it took 3 years. And so with that option, you kind of risk it, and it might heal up for a little bit and then start to hurt again. Then what do we do if it hurts again? Another 6 to 8 weeks. So in the long term, that one just doesn't work. That option doesn't work this time. It worked the first time, and I'm so glad it did. And like, I wouldn't have had the success I had if it weren't for the Lord protecting my foot during that time and bringing healing after it. But you know, life throws you a curveball, you get another fracture in your foot, and this time, you know, like, timing's not amazing. The timing's never amazing when you're getting surgery as an athlete, but the Lord's providing a way and providing a timeline for this to be fixed. And so I'm getting surgery in 36 hours, and I'm nervous as heck. I've never had surgery, and this is I'm such a baby. This is such a small surgery that this doctor that's doing it has done it so many times, and it's I don't know all the terms, but they said this is a super easy surgery. Tiny incision, 2 very small screws, sew it back up, and then I'm off my foot for 6 to 8 weeks to let the healing happen, and then slowly over those next 6 to 8 weeks after that, weaning myself back onto diving. It's a dream of mine to go back to the Olympics, and it sucks that my foot's broken, and it sucks that I have to get surgery, but I'm gonna be fighting so freaking hard to get back on that board and be at the top of my game and to be one of the best in the world again. And you know what? This is a 4-month setback, but at the end of this setback, I'm gonna have a stronger bone than I've had my entire diving career. And so for me, it's worth it. So I'm gonna be documenting the process. At the time of filming this, I haven't really decided if I want to share this as it's happening and have you guys follow along in the process as it's happening real time, or if I don't. I wanna disappear from social media for a little bit. I want to kind of, like I did with the first one, I hid that injury for a long time because I didn't want people to know that my foot was broken, and I didn't want people to think, oh, well, he's not going to be able to do it because his foot's hurt, or oh, he's not going to be ready because his foot's hurt. And at the end of the day, I wasn't telling people. I was just showing up in a boot and being like, yeah, it's a little achy, but I was still doing my dives and doing them well. And I made it far, you know, like an Olympic silver medal on a fractured foot is exciting in a way that it's like, there's no way I should have been on the Olympic team with a broken foot. But this time, I don't know if I want to share the story as it's happening or just kind of release everything at the end of January when I'm back to full-time training. I'm not intimidated by this process. The thing that intimidates me the most is I don't know what surgery's like. I don't know what the rehab process is like. I mean, I know what it's like, but I've never been through it. So I don't fully know what to expect, and it's gonna be hard, it's gonna suck, it's gonna hurt, and it's gonna take time and a lot of patience. But I'm gonna be doing whatever I can to be back and be better than I was. So I don't know. I might share this with you guys. I might not share it until I'm fully healed and already diving again. But regardless, I'm documenting the process. It's gonna be a lot quicker than I think I realize it's gonna be. So first off, I wanna say thank you guys so much for supporting me over the years and supporting me through my various injuries. This foot injury has really been an issue since 2015. I know what I'm getting surgery on now is a different issue in my foot, but it's still in my foot and it's the same bone. And fixing this is gonna fix the whole bone. It's gonna make it stronger, and you know, I'm antsy. I'm ready to get back on the boards. I'm ready to be diving again, and it's only been a couple weeks off my foot. But I know January is going to be here before I know it, and I'm going to be back on the boards, and I'm going to be competing, and I'm going to be fighting to be on that world championship team this summer. This is going to be a process. It's not going to be easy, but I have goals of being on that world championship team. I have a goal of competing and winning another Big Ten title this year. I have a goal of competing at NCAAs and winning another NCAA title this year. And sure, 4 months off is going to suck, but I'm going to be stronger, and I'm gonna push through it. So yeah, I'm getting surgery in 36 hours, and I'm freaking nervous, and it's gonna suck. But, you know, sometimes it's smarter to rest and fix what needs to be fixed. Next time you'll see me, it'll be right before my surgery at, holy moly, 3:45 a.m. is when I'm getting picked up for the surgery. So it's nice though, because the surgery's at 5:30 in the morning. But I'll be leaving the hospital at 8 a.m. I just want to document this process. I want to give you guys the insight to my brain as to what's going on, and the insight as to what rehab for a student athlete is like, who has had surgery and who can't walk and is trying to walk again. You know, it's something I don't see a lot of online. I don't see a lot of people documenting these processes. And so leading into 2020, I want to have these videos, I want to have these photos for me. But also I'm a documentary student, so I want to make a documentary. It sucks that it's on this topic, but you know, it's still an opportunity to document something. What's up everyone? This is the first surgery update. I woke up this morning at about 3:35, left for the doctor's appointment from here at 3:50, got there at 5, it was over an hour away. Took me back to the office at 5:30, they put me under at 6:45, and by 7 o'clock they were doing the surgery. Done with surgery about 8 a.m. this morning, and now I'm just at home chilling on the couch. And I'm literally not allowed to leave my apartment for 5 days. I can't leave here until my first follow-up appointment for surgery, which is next Wednesday, October 3rd, 2nd or 3rd. That's 5 days away. I'm confined to this 850 square foot apartment for 5 days. So this is the beginning. I'm having fun. I'm playing some GTA 5 right now, and this is my setup. You've got the boot on. There is this cryo thing in here. So basically this blue thing right in here fills up with water and ice water from this little bucket right here. There's a little tube that connects to it, and every 30 minutes I have to fill it up with ice water, sit with it on inside the boot for 30 minutes, and then drain it every 30 minutes. So I'm on this couch for the next 5 days of my life. Got my scooter just in case I gotta go to the bathroom and stuff like that. And I've got a ton of pills that I have to take to manage the pain. And right now my foot is still numb from the surgery, so I don't feel pain, but I also don't feel my foot at all. So it's kind of different. As I was asking the doctor what they're gonna use to put me out, I guess I went out, and then I woke up what felt like literally 1 second later to a nurse asking me a bunch of questions as I woke up, and I was like, has it happened yet? And they're like, yeah, you've been done. I was like, how long's it been? They're like, an hour and 15 minutes. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So it was a weird experience, but I'm just happy that I'm not sick from anesthesia. I don't have any nausea, anything like that. So surgery was great, super smooth. I don't remember a thing. because it was so fast. So shout out to the doctors, shout out to the nurses for taking care of me. Shout out to my wife who's gonna be taking care of me the next 5 days in this apartment. Hillary, bless your soul. But yeah, surgery, it was great. I can't walk for the next 6 weeks, but my foot is now held together by titanium screws. And that means I'm going to be able to walk without pain, which is exciting. I've just got to be patient.
Come here, Aspen. Come here. Good girl.
She's like, you just got a leaf stuck in her butt.
Classic.
What up, world? Steele here. It's officially been, well, I guess not 1 week since my surgery. So today is Friday, October 5th. 1 week ago, I had foot surgery, and so not much of anything has really happened in the past week. So this past week has consisted of a lot of sitting around and just sitting around the house. So for the first 5 days after surgery, so all of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning I had my first doctor's appointment. So leading up to that doctor's appointment, the doctor said I shouldn't leave my house, my apartment, until I see him again, just to kind of have your first post-op checkup. And for the most part, I didn't leave the house. There's a park near where Hillary and I lived, and we would bring a blanket and just lay it down because it would be hard to spend almost an entire week just in a small 800 square foot apartment. So it was a very slow week. If you're squeamish, look away now. But here is overlapping footage of my foot right now. So I don't have my stitches out yet. I have three total stitches. There's one on the left side of my foot, one on the right side, and the one directly in the middle. And I will get those stitches out next week. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna cut the middle stitch and then just kind of pull the string through because it's underneath. That's probably gonna feel weird. I can't really do much. I'm not allowed to be off of this scooter right here that I'm sitting on for 6 weeks total. So 1 week done. In 5 weeks, I will be able to walk in the boot. And then 2 weeks of walking in the boot, and then they're gonna put a carbon fiber shoe in my plate, which I've actually had in my shoe for the past almost 4 years of my life. I've been walking around with a carbon fiber plate in the shoe, not super comfortable, not super fun, but you know, it's what I'm used to. So basically, in 7 weeks, I'll be back to normal pretty much with walking. So what's it like 1 week in? This scooter absolutely sucks. I've fallen a total, I think, of 4 or 5 times now off this scooter. Not super fun to ride around on through the apartment. There's just so many walls in here. I'm bumping into every wall. It doesn't turn well, you gotta pick it up. It's a pain. It's a pain getting everywhere on this scooter. So I think the hardest thing throughout this first week has not been the lack of motion, but rather when I have moved around and have left the apartment and have gone out to do things with Hillary or go to the doctor or go to class or take an exam today, it's been trying to get this scooter up and down stairs. So Hillary and I don't have an elevator in our apartment complex, and so what happens is I have to hop on one foot and kind of use the side rails to prop myself up all the way up to the floor that we live on, and Hillary has to carry the scooter up for me. I can't drive for the next 5 weeks. I can't do a lot of things. I can't walk, can't drive. So Hillary's been gone the past 4 hours, and I haven't been able to leave the apartment because I can't go down the stairs. But now my bone's held together. It was a successful surgery. Now I got a couple of screws in my foot, which is great. That means my foot's gonna be held together, and I'm not gonna have to deal with this ever again once I get healthy. So week 1 done, 5 more weeks until I'm walking again. I am antsy, I'm ready. But it's been good. Gotten a lot of rest this week, and I've been able to start working out again. I've already spent 1 day in the weight room, a couple days doing rehab, so it's been great. Doing well. So thanks for checking in on this first week update, and I think this might have been mixed in with the original announcement video, so I think I decided that I'm going to upload these periodically as we go, seeing as I already posted about the surgery on Instagram and Twitter. So thank you guys for the support through this process. I'm working as hard as I can to be back on the boards as fast as I can while still being as healthy as I can and being smart about this process. But thank you for your support. If you guys want, subscribe, like this video. More coming. It's a recovery process, so every week I'm going to be checking in and showing you guys little updates, because each week I'm going to be able to do more and more and more in rehab, and it's going to be feeling better, and the stitches are going to come out, and it's just going to be great. And before you know it, I'm going to be back on the boards, and I'm going to be competing again in the spring. So thank you guys.